Yo guys, what's going on? It's Dcroft here, and today we do have an inside the mind of my brand new defense in 3-3-5 tight, which is going to be the 3-3 stack defense. Now, let me quickly talk about offense first. And really, the best quarterback in this game is going to be Drew Aller. Now, I think his quarterback release is just insane. I think he, by far, has the best release in this game. He makes throws that other quarterbacks just cannot make, and that's just really why I like him. Still good speed, too. I think he's up to 97 speed on my theme team. Running backs are going to be Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry. They're kind of 1A, 1B, kind of rotate between the both of them. Receivers are all going to have takeoff, and we do have this new Deuce Robinson. He is a 6'6 receiver as my slot receiver. I also really like Malik Neighbors and Calvin Johnson. Show you guys all the abilities on offense right here too. In terms of what we are rocking, you guys can see Saquon Barkley, Shifty Platinum, Workhorse Gold. Then take off on all my receivers. And then Drew Aller, we have Workhorse Silver, Dot Silver, Extender Gold, Step Up Gold. Only thing that is a little bit of a bummer about this card is, you know, newer quarterbacks probably do have like Gold Dot, Platinum Dot, things along the lines of that. But I do think his release is just so good to the point I'm okay using slightly worse abilities just to get to use this card. Now, let's go ahead and talk about defense. Obviously, this is what this video is mainly about. Do have this new Earl Thomas right here. It actually an insane card. I've got the chance to actually use him so far. I don't typically like small safeties. Not a fan of them, but there is something about this Earl Thomas, just a very, very good card. Now, CJ Mosley is going to be my user. I kind of flip between him and Shane Gillis. It's honestly kind of hilarious to me that Shane Gillis is like a relevant card in this game, but he is actually an insane user. I really have loved him as a user. Chris Jones is kind of like my new Julius Peppers. If you guys remember, I talked to you guys about how much I like Julius Peppers. He is a little bit outdated stat-wise, but Chris Jones is like the same player model as him, just honestly like very fat. I don't know how they decide player models. Pretty sure they are just AI generated, but he's just such a good D tackle for me. We do have 4 ball hawks on defense. We have 1 takedown and then just workhorse on Chris Jones. I kind of mess around with like different ability combos. We are just rocking 4 ball hawks, 3 of them platinum, 1 of them gold right now. I do like the ability. I do think takedown's kind of a necessity with how many people are using extender. So we do have 1 of them too. I kind of don't like it too when you're kind of forced just to have 1 AP left over. I kind of wish I could get like a better ability for 1 AP, but workhorse on Chris Jones just so I know he's never going to get out of the game. It's fine for me. Special teams, we have these 2 guys right here. Specialists for any of you guys that are curious about them. Strategy, we are still in the Georgia defense, so we still have the 335 Mint. We still have 335 Penny, and obviously that new 3-3 stack that we're going to be running in this video. And then visuals, you guys know, I'm from Seattle, Washington, so just rocking some Huskies jerseys. And then also rocking Kinnick Stadium. I actually just visited this stadium. I was on spring break this past week, and I go to school out in Iowa, and I decided it was time for me just to visit this stadium. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the games. Alright boys, so game number 1 here, and just depending on how the games go, we might play 2, we might play 3, just kind of depends on how they are going. Now, so here it is, 3-3 stack. Now, we don't really do any pre-snap adjustments, by the way. We kind of leave all this stuff the same. Every once in a while, I kind of mess around with my zone drops on like 3rd and long, 4th and long situations, but really everything else does stay the same. Let me quickly pause right here. Basically, a good tip for you guys is whenever you pause like this, you guys can see that defensive timer actually reset back to 15 seconds there. So if you ever see somebody pausing at the start of the game, just know that's why. Now, linebacker blitz 0 is going to be our main blitz. This is going to be by far the best blitz to run from this, and there is a lot of quick adjusting out of this. So you guys can see that now my entire defense is in zone. Right there, oh, I thought Buddha was going to get there. Just a half step behind right there from Buddha Baker. He's actually going to go hurry up right here too. But there is going to be a lot of quick adjusting in this defense. I think quick adjusting is one of the most important parts about just really being good at Madden, also college football, that if you are not consistently quick adjusting, you are going to, I think, struggle a lot in terms of getting stops. Now, there are other plays that you can call within this, like more zone-based plays. Cover 4 drops are really, really good one. There's a couple of cool blitzes out of that. But the thing about linebacker blitz 0 is it's the only one that gives you that specific blitz angle, because you can see right there, like on that last play, that replay you guys just saw, you get this like loop that goes outside of the tackle. Any other blitzing play right here is going to blitz straight down. So you want to make sure that you get that looping angle, kind of like this, right? Just to the outside like this. Right there, I honestly think he just snapped the ball a little bit too quickly right there. He is running a lot of hurry up here too, as you guys can see. So especially if you guys, again, don't have your quick adjustments mastered, this is one of those games where maybe I end up running a different variation of blitz that we'll talk about here in just a second. Right here again, a little bit of almost like a mesh concept. Playmaker from him. We did only send 3. Ball hawk. That's why I love ball hawk. You guys saw how fast that ball hawk reacted. I just think ball hawk is so good in this game. I think it is. I would really classify platinum ball hawk as an S tier ability. That's truly how good I believe the ability is. It's one of those abilities that if you don't, I feel like at least have 2, I think you're just doing it wrong, right? They're good defense from us. And again, you guys can see right there, blocked running back, and we're still looping him. Real quick, boys, if you guys are a Madden player that wants to have more fun on the game and win more, if you guys want to score touchdowns like this and bag even the most annoying of offenses, make sure to check out civil.gg. We have over 1,000 active members, and you guys can use the exact schemes I use to dominate in Madden. We recently did a survey that said 99.2% of our members improved their Madden skills. If you guys sign up today, make sure you use code DCROFT for 30% off. The link is in the top of the description, and you will get instant access to win you more Madden games. And that's one of the reasons why I really like this blitz. You guys can see right there, that loop, he gets picked up for like half a second right there, but he's still able to be in a position where he gets such a good shot animation. And that's one of the things about this blitz, is even if somehow it gets picked up, that animation that you guys just saw right there is crazy frequent. You get like this, like almost like this perfect, like, I guess like bend animation. I don't really know any other term to use for it, but you get this like perfect bend where you can go underneath of the tackle, and then you're able just to get to the quarterback super quick. Now this guy's actually rocking 335 mint right here too. Obviously you guys know, I think 335 mint's still like the staple, right, in terms of one of the best defenses in this game. Obviously, I started running it all the way back in December, but still just such a good defense. Right here, I do think we have Malik Neighbors, and look at Malik, man. Platinum takeoff, at least have 2 of them if you can. Some of the more budget guys are going to be those legend receivers. Allen Robinson, he's a really good one to pick up. But that ability is so overpowered. I'm actually probably going to make an ability tier list here at a point with platinum abilities. It is on my Twitter, for any of you guys that just want to check that out too. It is just so good in terms of takeoff at a platinum tier. At gold and lower, like, it's still good, but platinum just feels like a different level of good to me. Definitely good defense on the first drive right here. He's actually going to be taking a little bit of a touchback. He also has Calvin Johnson, so he probably has platinum takeoff himself. Something I also got to be mindful of. If you are also struggling to stop the platinum takeoff, go ahead and put Robber on your cornerbacks. It's going to be a big help. That's a very big help of a platinum ability right there. Get a lot of questions too whenever I make these types of videos, kind of to talk about my adjustments. This is kind of one of my main adjustments. It's just going to be a lot of basic cover 3, honestly. I do think cover 3 is really good in this game, and you guys can see, like, how good this pressure is. Right there again, just instantly getting to the quarterback. Go ahead, set up this defense here again. This time he is actually going to roll out. Going to try to switch stick onto Earl. Are we going to get there? Oh my gosh, I thought Earl was about to get out there. Well, I think that's kind of weird for me. I'm a Seahawks fan, and obviously, like, the 12th man, pretty big jersey, I would say, our franchise history. And having Earl be number 12 feels weird to me. No, that's why he ended up wearing at Texas, which I kid you not, I just learned about when he came out in this game. It's never really something I guess I thought about. Right here, we are going to, well, so I was supposed to spy as, okay, well, that one wasn't the best defense ever for me. I was a little bit slow with my quick adjustments right there. I wanted to spy right there just so he basically couldn't roll out again there. When I tried to spy, I actually accidentally switch stick right there. I switch stick onto my safety, as you guys could see, and takeoff was just gone right there. So again, this play we are going to spy. I just don't want to give up any like kind of free adjustment. So instead of sending 5 this play, we're going to send 4 just with that quarterback spy here instead. Try to keep him in the pocket. Nothing really open, as I feel like we play good defense right there. I guess it's just Calvin, you know. I think it's fair to say we've all seen Calvin probably make that play once in our lifetimes. I think a top 3 talented receiver of all time. So you can't be mad at it. You can't be mad at it. Right there. Oh my gosh. He loves this high ball right now. That was another one at the snap I kind of thought, okay, that's another pick, but you know, he was at least able to so we have good defense. We do have a spy out on the field on this play right there. He was able to fit it in there. One thing that I will say, I'm going to try to be better about this. I'm going to try to slow my pace of speaking. I feel like I've been rushing through a lot of this stuff so far. I just feel like there's so many things to talk about in these videos, which is like, man, I feel like I'm just like rushing my voice a lot. Not necessarily not articulating what I want, but man, you gotta realize that there's so many things like pre-snap. Now, red zone, love cover 2. I think cover 2 is a really good coverage to run down here. Good little defense from us right there, but actually great patience by him. Great back of the end zone dot right there. But really, I'm fine with that drive. I think that there was 2 potential picks on that drive, and then his big play on that drive, which is user error. I think that's like a very important thing for people to realize is almost the like success rate of a drive. Like taking the thought process, right? If you give up like a big play, right? Realize why you gave up that big play, but don't harp and be like, man, I need to run a different defense, right? Just make the minor adjustment. And like for me, I'm thinking, okay, all I really needed to do was just to quick adjust faster, right? That's the only thing I needed to do right there was that to be able to get a stop. Then when it came to the red zone, honestly, just a good play. Like every once in a while, you come up against just a good play, right? You know, you're not going to be able to shut out every single opponent. There's going to be times where you just have to be, okay, like that's just a good play. And that was just one of them I would just classify as good plays. Right there, Drew Aller throwing a missile to George Kittle back in his hometown. Well, I actually don't know if Iowa City is his hometown. I actually find it very unlikely that it is his hometown, but back in his home college stadium, that's what we'll say. Again, not really focusing a ton on offense right now. Biggest thing is I think Drew Aller's opened up a lot for me offensively. In terms of the throws and reads that he is able to make. Love Saquon Barkley too. Saquon Barkley is like one of those cards in Madden and now CFB, obviously, that I've always just thought he's just like one of those cards. I don't know if you guys like have cards like that like whenever they get a card, they're just like one of those cards. If you guys have any, let me know in the comments. I'm trying to think of like other ones that I have. Obviously Tyreek Hill. I've loved Tyreek Hill cards throughout my time of playing Madden. I mean, he's always just been such a big player within Madden too, just because of his speed year in and year out. Defensively, I can tell you I hate Deion Sanders cards. I don't know what it is. Deion Sanders cards always just suck for me. Don't know what it is. His like player build, player model, whatever you want to say. I just like, he doesn't really do anything in the run game, and then he just never feels like that good of an actual like pass coverage DB for me. Obviously, like I don't care if you don't give me anything in the run game if you're a Deion Sanders card, but he just doesn't make the crazy plays I would kind of hope that a player like him would make. You're on a 3rd and inches now, though. Really, so far, I mean, I feel like I've been able to run my base plays. Very important to note that whenever you get the opportunity of just staying in the rhythm of your offense, don't try to do anything crazy, right? Like, I'm not going to start calling plays I've never called before. You know, this is Mint. I've seen Mint hundreds and thousands of times now. I have my base plays that I want to go to. I'm just going to stick to calling them, right? Like, here's like another easy base play. This is corner strike. Obviously, a great little short corner on this side. High low over the middle of the field. Just a very easy concept. And right here, he switch sticks off. Have the drag underneath Calvin Johnson. Ooh, I thought we were going to be able to make a miss right there. But again, just staying in the flow of my offense, right? You know, I think a lot of people always are asking like, oh, what play do you know to call next? Oh, why do you call this play? Why do you call that play? The reality of it is most competitive players don't really call that many plays, right? And the reality of it is it's very easy just to sequence, let's just say like 10 plays, right? Like let's just say 10 plays is on your play call sheet. It's very easy to sequence those 10 plays and as we fumble right there, actually, and be able to sequence it, right? Now, we didn't actually go on conservative. That, I kid you not, that's my first time fumbling with Saquon Barkley. A little bit unfortunate that it did just happen right there. But even then, right, I feel like we played good defense my first drive. We're going to, again, keep to my same base shell. And then, yeah, like kind of the same thing on defense that I was just kind of preaching on offense right there. It's actually getting a little bit sweaty in my room right now. I don't know if it's because of the game I'm playing or not. But as I was just kind of preaching on offense, I didn't see enough from him in terms of being able to consistently move the ball against my base shell. So for me, I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and just keep running that same shell until he proves to me that he can beat it. Now, obviously, you want to have like some variation, right? You don't want to spam the same thing over and over and over again. But you do kind of want to spam the same concept over and over again. So I hope that does make sense. If you want like a real football term for it, or like, I don't know, like a term, but like real team that I've seen do this at a high level, it would have been the 2018 Rams. If you guys have watched McVay's offenses before, I feel like McVay is like the peak of offensive coordinators. I think McVay is like in a class of his own when it comes to offensive play calling in terms of how he's able to sequence plays. And that's kind of like a great takeaway that you guys could probably look at too, is just the way that the actual NFL players, or not players, coaches, excuse me, are able to coach to. How are you able to kind of implement that in there? And you guys can see good pressure from us right there. He is going to be able to roll out. And you guys can see, like, as a Seahawks fan, you guys don't understand how happy that makes me. A little bit of a pitch to Buda Baker right here. Watching Earl Thomas in my childhood, like, he's one of my favorite players ever. I'll say it. He's one of my favorite players ever. I've been on record to say, man, I think I genuinely think he's a top 5 free safety of all time, and I think you could say a top 3 free safety of all time. I just think that, I think Earl Thomas is, without a doubt, he's the best safety of at least the 2010s, in my opinion. Just so good. And right there on offense, again, just, you guys are seeing me abuse takeoff a lot right now. I really think, no matter what it is, get takeoffs on your offense. 2 platinum takeoffs, regardless of who it is, throughout the rest of the year in CFB. Get platinum takeoffs. It will make your life 10 times easier on offense. As this guy's actually on mic. Hold on, I'm actually going to go ahead and mute him right here. We're going to mute voice chat right here. Just don't want that audio being picked up in any way. Oh, we are in mint. Sorry. Muscle memory right there. That is on me. Muscle memory. 3-3-5 stack. We are in 3-3-5 stack. You guys got to understand, when you call mint every single play for, man, it's been like almost like a 3-4 month period for me now. It does take actually a little bit of adjusting to get used to a different defense. And you guys can see, like, he's just been under duress this entire game. Now, when it comes to, like, blitzing, I will say, like, somebody like this, I really shouldn't switch up my adjustments too much. I'll go ahead and show you guys the 4-man blitz right here, because I do think the 4-man blitz, obviously, very good. Right there, again, just great defense from us. A lot of a cover 3 shell. Not going to see a ton of a cover 2 shell from me, I will say. Reason behind it is I just think cover 2 is a little bit too susceptible into giving up too many free big plays, and that's not exactly what I want. As I tried to send the spy right there, switch stick onto him, and then run back. Sadly for me, I just wasn't able to get back fast enough right there. But again, I just don't want to drastically switch what I'm doing right now on defense. I feel like this guy has been struggling a lot. We're actually going to go back to our send 5 right here too. I really like these as like switch stick shells too, as that's my gold takedown too. This is why I preach takedowns, men. This is why I preach takedowns. Now, granted, my first takedown did get there. We got 2 people there. Sadly, we weren't just able to bring him to the ground. Now, I think the reality of it is I probably should start to focus on getting some more platinum takedowns, because obviously platinum is going to hopefully ensure that I always get a sack, but sometimes that can also just happen. But what I was saying about my switch stick shell, I really just like switch sticking out of cover 3, especially in this game. I feel very comfortable doing it. I think it's just a great shell to also switch stick from. A little bit of a motion out from him right here. Defense by us. Again, you guys can see that's 4-man pressure right there. Not instant, right? Like, I'm not talking about like a 4-man A gap, but you guys can see, right? We'll show you guys the replay. Coming in free, coming in untouched. Just such a good defense that this is. We'll go ahead and actually just send 4 here again. I do kind of want to spy right there. Okay, we play good defense right there, but I do kind of think about spying in situations like those. I feel like on big downs, people are more likely to roll out. I really just don't want like any form of broken play happening more than anything else. So right here, I am actually going to spy just because I don't want to be beat by the quarterback scramble right here. I'm basically just saying beat me on offense because right here, right, no quarterback scramble, good defense by us. Sadly, our 3-man pass rush wasn't able to get home right there. But I do think about that a decent amount on those like big 4th downs is I just don't want somebody to have like a crazy scramble upfield, something along the lines of that. Back to the red zone though, again, I feel like we've been playing really good defense though so far. Not really overly worried about anything defensively. A little bit of a bench pivot right there. Earl, look at Earl, man. I mean, he didn't really even make a play on the ball, but he did enough, so Earl, I respect it, man. I respect it. Alright, send 5 here again. I will say that this defense does like a pretty good job at keeping people in the pocket. It is a reasonably hard defense to roll out on. What you guys are seeing a lot here too is, man, I feel like we're so close just to a D-line pick too. This is one of those defenses that actually, like, there's like a lot of D-line picks that you'll see in this defense. Right here, he throws the wheel route, and we do have Snead right there. Probably the longest card on my team at this point is this L'Jarius Sneed. Now, once we do get another Platinum Ball Hawk, it is going to be his time. But I think this guy is actually going to quit out. Is he? He is going to quit out. So let's go ahead and hop into the next game. All right, boys. So game number 2 right here. And we're actually going to start off running a little bit of a different blitz. It's more of an engage blitz like this. Very, very cool blitz in this game. For any of you, my guys that may not want to be just out of man coverage, this is going to be a really, really good blitz in terms of getting quick, effective pressure to the quarterback that is in a zone shell. So we're going to go ahead and do this. The biggest thing is just make sure that you engage with the guard like this. He is actually going to audible. This could be a jet touch pass, and it is. Whenever I see a jet touch pass like this, like to click on to the safety and just run down immediately with him. Kind of the same for jet sweeps. If you guys ever see like a jet sweep, that's kind of the main concept I kind of like to use in terms of taking it away. Go ahead. I was a little bit slow right there in terms of setting it up. And you guys can see actually first glimpse of Chris Jones right there and his player model. I just love his player model. There's something about these big boys on the defensive line that just they just get me going, man. Right there, good play by him. I just barely missed the hit stick right there though. Hurry up from him. I'm actually gonna go ahead and audible into my man blitz right here, just like this. It might be a little bit of a quarterback draw right here. So he is actually gonna audible to a running back here. Is it gonna be duo? Let's see. Motion across. So you got a lot of pre-snap things here. Gotta always be mindful of it. Actually, a counter right there. Okay, interesting. A little bit of a counter right there from him. He does go back to the huddle right here. It looks like basically his base of his offense. Yeah, so he's always going to want to come out in 5 wide here. I think he's basically just going to look at my defense, see if he likes to look, and then decide what he wants to end up audibling to. Or also potentially just hike the ball like this. Now right there, just not a good switch stick from me right there. We just kind of whiffed on that switch stick right there. He was able to get out of the pocket relatively easy there too. It's kind of not the best defensive drive from me ever right there, I will say. I was also a little bit surprised that the crosser got that wide open. I wasn't really anticipating the crosser to be that wide open. But nonetheless, good drive from him. Again, just being kind of mindful of that first drive in terms of what he liked to do. Biggest thing that I think I can take away from that is not a lot of runs, right? He had that one quarterback draw. Outside of that, there really wasn't a bunch of runs outside of that. So always going to be mindful of something like that. Don't really need to commit extra numbers into the box, anything along the lines of that. Just have to be worried about stopping the pass. And I feel like for someone like me, if I can get you passing every single down, that's going to be a win. And not even just for someone like me, but really for any of you guys that are watching this video, is you always want to make sure that people have to do the hardest thing on offense which is more often than not going to be passing the ball. You don't want to just allow somebody to hike the ball, hand it off, not have to make a read, not have to judge where a user is going, not going to have to deal with pocket presence, anything along the lines of that, right? You want to make sure that they have to do all of that stuff right there. You can't just allow somebody to just hand the ball off and have easy touchdowns, right? If you're able to hand the ball off 10, 20, 25 times, think about how much easier it is just for you to play offense. On offense now myself right here, it does look like he is just going to kind of run a standard 4-man rush right here. I haven't seen like any crazy blitzes from him. Yeah, again, just standard 4-man pass, or, well, actually lied, it's a 2-man pass rush. Kid you not, boys, we're throwing my arms up. I'm waiting for the spy to be sent. Oh my god, no. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. I got a little bit too cocky right there. I just can't believe that one guy on the interior honestly kind of put in work right there. Who's number 2? I don't know who number 2 is, but that guy better be on full scholarship right now. That guy actually just put in work. Kudos to him, man. 2 again. Well, he's sending 2 again right here. Okay, this time we won't be cocky. We're just going to pick up my easy first down. Not do anything insane right there. One thing that I will say for my defensive side of this, I don't know why anybody sends 2. It's not good. Like, it's one of those things that, like, when I was first playing college football this year, it was like a meta, but I never really understood why it was a meta, because they're just never going to shed. Like, even that one time that it did technically shed, well, I had 10 to 15 seconds in the pocket at a minimum. So never send 2. Bare minimum, please just send 3. Because at least you'll have a chance with the send 3. A send 2, I mean, I kid you, I can just, like, sit. This is the thing. Like, I can just sit and just dissect. Now, I guess the one exception, right, maybe, like, let's just say there's, like, 2 minutes left in a game. You're up 10. You're up 17. You know, you don't care if somebody's actually picking up yardage. You care more about the clock at that point. All right, I'll give everybody a pass at that point, right? Like, I can kind of understand that. But as, like, a base defense to come out in, really just going to be insanity. Even I think send 3, more often than not, is not going to be enough people. But send 2 is almost what I just consider death. A little bit of another run from us. Saquon Barkley not fumbling that time. The thing about Saquon Barkley is there's just something about the way he, like, can cut side to side, even without Shifty, right? I know I have Platinum Shifty on him, but even without Shifty, he just feels like such a smooth running back. It's the same way I felt about Alvin Kamara. If you guys remember, it was the Black Friday Alvin Kamara. It was like a yellow, like the card. It was like a yellow card. It's when we got Cam Newton, Nick Bosa, Tyleek Williams, Danny Stutzman was also, I think, in that promo. That card that Alvin Kamara was like a different breed of any running back I've used this year. It's like him, Saquon Barkley, Reggie Bush. Those 3 cards have been just so like above their times that they were out. Gotta remember, we're in 335 stack. We're in 335 stack. He's in a little bit of trips, and we are going to be in mana line here. So a very simple mana line shell that I like, let me get it up, it's going to be something along the lines of this. Great mana line shell right here. And one thing that I will say is, that's actually probably more yards than you'll ever see, but this is typically really good run defense. I don't know if we're going to end up playing a runner or not in this game. I did say after this guy's first drive, I didn't think he was going to run a ton. But this is really, really, really good run defense. So if you guys are struggling to stop a run, this is one of the better run defense within this game. He's going to go ahead and actually flip his formation right here. You got to be semi-mindful of a run, quarterback draw right here. I will say, I don't know how it's going to work against quarterback draw. Typically, the 3 linebackers at the second level pursue really, really well, regardless of what linebackers you have too. So we have to see how it does against quarterback draw. I can't really say I've blabbed this against quarterback draw, but I would be stunned if it didn't work very effectively. Entering the second quarter right now, too. Okay, so he's actually starting to audible to a couple more things right here. Actually, kind of just like man right here. We're going to go ahead and shade outside here, too. Just go ahead and make it so he can't throw like any type of corner route, anything along the lines of that. He's actually going to flip his formation here, too. So he's going to run. Okay, he's going to run a little bit of power right here. And again, you guys can just kind of see like how well the entire team pursues to the football right there. you're not really going to have any form of rushing lanes against this. Right here, a little bit of a quick hike from him. Oh, I was almost there from CJ. Ooh, honestly, good little cut from him right there. I was almost there with CJ Mosley. That's one of the things about a taller user, like a Tyree Wilson, Shane Gillis. Somebody like that actually might be able to jump right there. I would strongly recommend whatever user you guys do end up using, you just get used to the feel of like a tall user or a short user. It actually plays a lot bigger of a role than you guys actually might think. So he's going to motion across here again. I think last time he did this, it was a counter. I'm going to sell out to the run. Yep, counter right here. Again, you guys can see the run defense. Great pursuit right there from the boys. Really nowhere for him to go. And the thing that's cool, right, I'm not really doing anything as run defense, right? Like, I'm not doing, like, any, like, run commits. I'm not doing any crazy adjustments. Really just setting up my base defense that I'm worried about for the pass and kind of just letting the boys pursue the runs themselves. And whenever you can do something like that, that's a major, major win on defense. Right now, he's actually played reasonably good offense, though, I will say. We got good pressure right there. Had pressure in his face, but a good little quick whip route by him. Gotta be mindful of that. Gonna go ahead and put a hard flat on this play right here just to potentially take that away from being an option right here. Whenever he goes to something like this, whenever you see the offense looking towards the sideline, obviously going to be some form of audible more often than not. Now, obviously, you can bluff it too, but very rare. As Earl actually just got cooked right there. I need Earl to make that one-on-one tackle right there. I will say, in all my times of watching Earl, I feel like he actually never missed that tackle. I was like, honestly, probably Earl, like, you can say everything you want about his coverage skills. His ability to turn a, like, what could have been a touchdown run into, like, a 3 to 5 yard run was always insane. It was just always insane in my personal opinion. His closing speed was, like, different than any other player I have ever seen before. But yeah, so far he's played good offense. Honestly, I can't really take anything away from him. He's been able to pass the ball well. Good little cut by him right there just to evade Earl Thomas. We do have him in the red zone, though. Major plus for us. Red zone is tough to score in. You don't want to give up those free touchdowns, right? Make them work down the field right here. Going to go ahead and actually just set up cover 2. More often than not in the red zone, it is probably going to be a cover 2 look for me. You guys can see he's looking towards the sideline. Goes ahead and audibles right there. Does actually take a timeout himself there. It's also his national championship, by the way. For any of you guys that are curious, it is his national championship. So if we can play a little bit of spoiler. Same thing right here. Just go ahead, call cover 2. He's going to go back to this 5 wide right here. We're going to send 5 right here just because we did get good pressure last time. Ooh, okay. I'm not really sure why he did all of that. Oh, well, I guess it was trying to set up that run, kind of just a little bit of a misdirection right there. Hurry up by him. I don't necessarily know how I feel about this. Now, I do think you want to kill as much clock as possible. But at the same time, I'm probably going to get the ball back anyways. I think I'm 99% sure this is a counter left. Ooh, he's doing a lot of hot route. That extra hot route's going to throw me off. I was going to say, typically when people start... Yeah, he actually did pass here. Right there, great pressure, great defense, and there it is, right? Eventually, I'm going to end up getting that blitz. I'm going to end up playing the right coverage once. You come in free on the blitz like that, there's just nothing you can do. You can't evade that. You can't escape that. It is just going to be super free right there. Now, we're actually going to do something different right here. Oh, I took a timeout. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to go off sides. Typically, I wouldn't go off sides. Obviously, I don't actually recommend doing this. I want to make sure, okay, my camera is not blocking my zone drops. Just had to double check. I'm going to actually set up my zone drops up right here. We're going to do 15 and 15. Now, what we're also going to do, this is like one of my favorite long defense situations plays. We're going to call it 3-5 over, and we're going to call cover 2 hard flat. Now, I'm not going to adjust anything. We're actually just going to rock a stock 4-man pass rush like this and move these guys back like this. You also want to make sure that you pick hard flats instead of cloud flats because hard flats do a better job in deeper zone depths than cloud flats do. So right here, we're just going to play the 6. On me to rally, make the... Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, that's insane, boys. I mean, Calvin just made a play. I mean, so basically, right, we just want to get into 4th down, no matter what. So I had exactly what I wanted. Threw the ball short of the 6. We come up, you make the tackle. It's easy as that, right? It's easy as that. I kid you not, I would give that defense like a 95% success rate, and you guys saw just one of the times it did not work. Super unfortunate, and actually in the process of all of that, our CJ Mosley is now worn and torn. Not only did he not make the tackle, he decides he's a little bit tired. Obviously, we got Shane Gillis a backup, so we're going to be fine. But just an unfortunate play right there. I was honestly trying to show you guys like a super like high-level tip, right? But, you know, sometimes that... You know, at the end of the day, sometimes things like that do just end up happening. We're obviously not cutting any of this stuff out. Stuff like that can happen. Right here, we are coming out in goal line. It's very hard, obviously, to run in goal line too. And even if he comes out in a passing form, we're just going to come out in goal line. I like coming out in 60 out jacks right here, like this. I do actually like to spy in this situation too. So one of my outside linebackers that are manned up, I like to spy. Right here, nothing really open. We're going to send our spy now. Able to make the tackle. Do kind of wish that that was an incompletion, right? Just so we could preserve more time on our upcoming drive. But, so, ooh, this is crazy. He's going for it. We got to make sure we take out not Shane Gillis, excuse me. We got to make sure we take out CJ Mosley right here. Go ahead. We'll put Manti Te'o here. And man, all right, this is actually now a very, very big play in the game. We are going to end up spying right here too. Again, just prevent any type of easy completion. You guys can kind of see the adjustments right here. I'm actually going to change this guy to a little bit of a vert hook right here. I think he might be taking a delay. Let's see. It is going to be a delay. I'm actually going to decline this really nerdy fact about this. You want him to actually kick a shorter field goal here because it's going to take less time off the clock. It might save you. It matters more when you're in like a 25 to like 30 situation when they take a delay. That 1 second could actually play like a really pivotal role here in terms of me getting 3 or me not getting 3. It's one of those like super minor things that I don't know how many of you guys would have ever thought about. But it is really so critical in these situations, right? You know, 32 to 31 seconds, that 1 extra second might be the difference in me getting off a spike, me getting off a field goal, something along the lines of that. And then on top of that too, you want the ball at the 25. Don't even risk a kick return. Like, what is the point of potentially losing 10 yards and losing seconds with that too? It's not worth the risk reward right there. So you always want to make sure in like that type of situation, you do just take a touchback. Now I'm actually going to try to play this in terms of getting out towards the sideline right here. I'm going to go ahead, call a corner strike. And we are going to play for the sidelines early on this drive. Now, if we get to like a third down, it's just going to be about like picking up the first down. But first couple of plays, he's actually going to give up the sideline here on the very first down of this play. So already at the 37, 29 seconds now. And again, we're probably going to go to a similar thing. Actually, I kid you not. We're actually going to go to the exact same thing, except a comeback here instead. So we're just going to have a comeback here. Just slightly different timing. I'm actually going to have Saquon deep right here. Is that Earl? That is actually Earl. He has up top. That's that platinum ball hawk. You guys can see how open that Saquon Barkley was right there. Honestly, just a great play, right? Not mad at that whatsoever. I like the read from me. Just a good defensive play from him right there. Right here, we're going to actually now throw Saquon early. We're going to try to spin to get out of bounds. Sadly, do not. Now, we are actually going to go back to the huddle. We're going to go to spike right here. Typically, I would recommend favoring this. So go ahead, go to spike right here. We should have 14 seconds down the clock. But this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, right? You know, 14 to 13 seconds in this situation, actually a reasonable difference, right? We are kind of on fringe field goal range right here, and I'm also on balanced. Biggest reason why I want to be on balance is in case I need to get like a spin towards the sideline. Very, very valuable to have balanced on. Go ahead and we're going to call this play. So it's kind of like a shot play right here with the potential at getting towards the sideline. He does a really good job at taking away the sideline. We're just going to go ahead and get down right here. Now, this is where it's actually finally going to matter. If we had 5 seconds on the play clock, I'm kicking the ball 100 times out of 100. 6 seconds, though, I actually think I have a play in this situation. So going back all the way to why we declined that penalty, it is for now, right? We got that little bit of extra time because he kicked a shorter field goal, And now we basically have one extra play that we can call because of that tip. I'm actually kind of happy it worked out that way. I promise you I wasn't trying to make it that way. I honestly wanted 7 on this drive. I would have loved a one-play touchdown. But again, we got 6 seconds right here. All these routes are going to be towards the end zone. If he runs back with his user, we are just going to end up throwing the ball away, obviously. We're going to actually just have a bunch of streaks right here. Nothing's open. Just throw the ball away. You know, you got to take like a quick picture, right, of where the defense is running. Don't want to risk something insane happening right there. I could have potentially thrown Kittle. I was going to say that if there was more time left on the clock, I'm honestly probably throwing Kittle. But again, just not worth the risk reward at that point. You know, I get tackled at the 1, I get tackled at the 5. Half is just over anyways. So go ahead, settle for our 3. Successful drive. Nonetheless, right there. We are on defense now to actually start off the second half here, too. And he's been a good offense so far, right? He's had 2 good drives. He had 1 stall out in the red zone. It's really just going to come down to, am I going to get my pressure? And can I get the good coverage adjustments behind it, right? Because I don't feel like I've had that kind of coverage adjustment that I've found that he's like really struggling to beat up until this point. Little bit of trips right here. Now again, we are in a cover 0 shell. So again, whenever you're in a cover 0 shell, hold on, let me just go ahead and flip all these right here. Very simple shell that I do like. Zone on the running back tight end side, man on the other side. Gonna shade outside here too. A little bit of a power run. And again, you guys can see, right? Run defense is just good. Like this is very, very good run defense here. Buda Baker actually making a play right there for us. I would say Buda Baker's like, I have a love-hate relationship with him. I think he's a great card. I just think he's short. Typically short cards and me don't get along super, super well. Go ahead, touch that guy right here. See if he goes to a run right here. We are going to send our standard blitz at him too. He's going to take a timeout right here. I almost wonder if he was like trying to misalign us right there. So now he actually goes to 5 wide right here. We're going to go ahead and just put these hard flats on the field. Again, this is more of just the idea of whip routes. You guys can see, right? Whip routes being one of his main routes. You just want to you don't want to give up somebody's main routes. So for me, put the whip route on the field. Simple counter, just put the hard flat on the field. I'm going to do this right here. This has typically been a run. As I said, he's really liked motion from this too. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a counter here. I was going to say, like, he's trying a lot to run the ball, too. Like, he's trying these motions, 5 wide quarterback draw, counters, whatever it may be. They're really just, there's been one run, right? It's not one run where Earl kind of got, honestly, just juked out. It's the best way of putting it. Instead of that, there really just hasn't been a ton of runs here. But first really big down in this game. Gonna go ahead and spy here. Nothing really open. Our pressure is getting home. And again, 4-man blitz, 5 blockers, insta pressure. Go ahead, roll the tape. You guys can see it in the background. Boom, sack. That's just what you love to see, right? You guys obviously know that it's kind of like, it's not the same concept, but the idea of like a loop has been what I've been doing out of Mint for so long. And the thing I really like about this too, we actually still have 335 Mint in this. So let's just hypothetically say, right, like I was just getting fried, right? You know, I gave up 25 points this game already. I just have the option to go back to Mint whenever I want. That's why I love this defense. You know, I have so much flexibility in terms of what I want to call. I can come out and mint against specific things, whatever it may be. Right here, I really wanted to throw my crossing route right there, but drag route was just wide open. 10-10 game right now. I just don't want to force something crazy. Go ahead, just take my drag. Getting into that like high red zone area right now. I'm going to go ahead and run with Saquon right here. Good blocking up front. Ooh, if I was able to get that little like speed boost animation, I would have been gone right there. Sadly for us, we were not able to get that. Go ahead and do this. This. I do have a whip route here. A little bit slow on the read right there. That's on me. I was just a little bit slow right there on the read. I'll go ahead, go to trips right here. Again, love trips in the red zone. I actually really have always just loved trips as a formation. I've just never really ran it as a... I shouldn't say never. I haven't ran it as a main offense for a long period of time. I actually feel like for... Okay, hold on. Playmaker. Okay, get to the edge. Come on, Drew. I thought for a half second there we were going to be able to throw our slant. Just didn't have enough room right there. That's something I like about Aller too, right? I like Aller 6'5", 97 speed. He's going to be able to be a rushing quarterback for you if you need him to be. Now, I don't run with him a ton. I actually really like him as a pocket passer more than his rushing ability. It's always just nice to have a quarterback that can do that stuff too. Ooh. I was going to say, I actually kind of like that he took a timeout right there because I really don't know what run I wanted to go to. He's kind of moving people all over the place. And, okay, he's moving him out again. I'm still going to run the pitch, honestly. I think the pitch is the right call here. We're going to actually take this with Aller. And that's the thing, right? 6'5", 97 speed. He can get those tough yards for, like, your speed options, quarterback sneaks, whatever design quarterback runs you might have. Aller's still going to be really, really, really good for you. I wish at times I actually showed off his rushing capabilities a little bit better. But the reality of it is I'm definitely more of a timing player. I like to know exactly when my route's going to get open, how to read the field, more than I ever try to like make a broken play out of something. It's just kind of the way I've always played these types of games. Have more of my set progression reads, things along the lines of that. Finally in the lead of this game though, I feel like we've been just kind of clawing our way this entire game. Up 17-10. Big thing for me, taking 2 of his timeouts already. So if we do get a stop here, it can almost start thinking about that clock management. And even if he does get 7 right here, I can still think about actually making my next drive the last possession of the game. Now, I think for the first time, I finally found something he was a little bit uncomfortable with, and it was these hard flats here. You know, he did not like these hard flats. Good defense from us. And look at Spence. Spence, the guy that made this sack on the last 4th down. Now is he going to get a pick 6 here too? He is. Look at Spence, man. But again, I think we finally figured out something he didn't like. And he actually realized that too. He's going to tap. Let's go ahead and get into one more game, boys. So starting on offense first this game, boys. And really the biggest thing, whenever I get ball first, I really just want to set the tempo of the game and go up 7-0. You know, this isn't obviously like the end-all be-all drive. There's going to be probably like at least like 5 to 6 possessions for each of us. But I really feel like if you can get off to like a fast 7-0 start, you are at such an advantage for the rest of the game. You know, it really just puts immediate pressure on them to just get points too. To the point where if they don't at least get points on their second drive, I feel like they are in a super tough spot. Now right there, boys, I have a 6'6" slot wide receiver there, and I was this close just to launching it. If he actually gives me the same look here again, I think I am launching it. Let me see. He gives me the same look again here. We are just launching. This ball is getting launched. I don't know if this is going to be a pick. You're 6'6" though. All right, well, worst case scenario, it is just a knockout like that. I just had to see it, right? I'm using a 6'6" slot wide receiver there. I had to see if I can make a play with him. So that's what I'm going to say. My receivers are actually kind of tall right now. Got 6'5" Calvin. I don't know how tall Malik Neighbors is. I say Malik Neighbors is like 6 foot, though. Right here, though, we do have George Kittle on that post route. Really, really good man-beating play is going to be corner strike. Corner strike is probably one of the best man-beating plays just in general. It is just such a good man-beating play. Honestly, until he gets out of man, I'm just going to keep spamming it. You know, when talking about concepts, right, if somebody's going to run the same defense over and... Ooh, okay, so he actually ran something crazy different right there. Now, he actually only sent 1 right there. And we'll show off the scrambling ability of Drew Aller right there. Pick up some extra yards. But, you know, until somebody shows me that they're willing to run, like, a different style of defense, I'm not going to be willing to, you know, run a different play. Right there, tight end crosser just got super bumped. He actually sent the spy from super far back right there. So again, same thing. We'll go ahead, just run the ball. I'm going to go on balance right here just because I do know I'm rushing. Typically, if I know I'm rushing the ball, I will actually go on balanced just so I can make somebody potentially miss, right? Ooh, so I thought Saquon was about to do something crazy right there. I don't think the backwards turtle is in this game, but I did think he was about to get some type of crazy animation right there. But yeah, as I was saying, if I ever know I'm running the ball, reasonable chance that I will go on balance. Right there, almost looks like he was player locked onto his defensive tackle. Able to have the in route be wide open. You guys know, right? Like red zone offense. We are in Michigan. I think I said that at the start of this video. And if I didn't, I think it's pretty evident at this point. But really in Michigan, I do rely on my quarterback actually rushing the ball a decent amount. You know, this zone option is kind of one of my core plays down here. So I got to make sure that he's at least able to be a rushing threat. And then you guys can, oh my gosh, I got a little bit too crazy. But Saquon Barkley, able to pick up 7 right there. But I got to make sure that I'm able to cut in right there with Drew Aller, just so I have the threat of it. I'm going to go ahead and actually take a quick sip of water here, boys. Super, super thirsty, actually. But a great start for us. Obviously, up 7-0. We got to stop right here. Can easily go up 14-0. And it takes him, I feel like once you're down 14-0, you kind of got to start thinking about your game plan, right? You got to start thinking about, you know, am I going to be able to run the ball much this game? It's only a 12-minute game. You know, do I have to be more aggressive pushing the ball down the field? It just puts you in such a early mental rut that you got to be mindful of. You got to be mindful of. He does have Kirk Cousins at quarterback. Will say I did not like this Kirk Cousins. Was not a fan. Able to get some good pressure right there. Again, Brad Spence actually he's just having a day. There's really not much else to say. I feel like he's actually kind of been our biggest playmaker today. He's going to motion his running back over. I don't really know what this does for him. Right here. Oh my God. See? Wow. Is that just, hold on, I gotta take a second glance at that one. Is that just platinum takeoff right there? I think that one's just platinum takeoff, boys. And this is kind of what I was preaching. I'm actually still even adjusting. Yeah, just platinum takeoff. Good adjustment. That outside third just got completely ran by. And again, that's one of those plays defensively, right? I'm not going to sit there. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Just remember to back off my DBs, right? That's all I have to do. Back off my DBs. Don't keep him. I actually thought he was far enough off the line of scrimmage. Now, if you do want to eliminate that completely where you don't have to worry about it, just go ahead and put robber on your cornerbacks. They're going to essentially just move faster when somebody does have takeoff. As Saquon, oh my gosh, I was like a yard away from just being gone right there. But Robbert's going to do a really good job in terms of taking away that potential of that just run by of the streak. I will say, he is kind of, I don't know why he keeps backing off everyone. I feel like this isn't the greatest alignment ever of a defense. I feel like your safeties are really just too far back, and you're kind of giving up all, like, my base plays still. He does get me in the red zone at least. At least he's going to make my life a little bit more difficult here. But yeah, I don't really understand why he's backing his entire defense off like that. Maybe he's honestly just scared of takeoff. He just wants everybody so far back. Red zone time. Typically when we get into this area of the field, going to be a lot of trips. One of my favorite concepts right here. He's actually not... Ooh. Okay, he's going to start moving people around. I was going to say, the original look he was giving me, I could have potentially ran the ball. Had second thoughts of that, though. Go ahead, just hike this play. Tight end, open, back of the end zone. Kittle, great catch by him. I do think Kittle is probably the best overall tight end in this game. Do really also like Brock Bowers, though. I think Brock Bowers is really good. The last tight end would be Tony G. He's kind of expensive, though. He's like over $1 million. He's really good if you care about Platinum Surehands. If you care about Platinum Surehands, I mean, obviously the best tight end in the game. But he is a little bit slower. I want to say he's 95 speed before any theme teams. And, you know, 95 speed, it's like a little bit outdated, I will say. It's just slightly outdated. All right, so biggest thing right here. Make sure we back off our corners like that. No easy free touchdowns right here. Like this, perfect. Right there, switch stick. I mean... Oh, Earl, I need you. I mean, Earl got his 2 mitts on it, just wasn't able to pick it. Platinum house call is also very good. You know, I totally understand. Like, that's a great example, right, of why somebody should use platinum house call. If you feel like you're one of those people that don't catch enough interceptions, go ahead, just try platinum house call. I think it's a very, very good ability to at least try out. Taking a lot of time at the line of scrimmage here. Okay, he's making one more hot route, it looks like. He's really liked this whip route. And again, right there, great pressure from us. Come on, JPP. Oh my gosh, JPP. I know you only have like 6 fingers now, but I promise you, you're able to still sack the quarterback, kid. I do think in this defense, I might want 2 takedowns. I might have to take off one of the ball hawks, I will say. It's just tough because I really do love these ball hawks. I feel like they just make so many plays for me that these cards don't typically do. Gotta make sure I just back them off here. Perfect. Nothing really open. Great defense. Goal takedown right there. Able to get to the quarterback. And he's actually running hurry up right here. He's running hurry up. So go ahead and do all this. Now, if you want to know how I'm backing off my corners, I'm double clicking. I wish I could show you guys. We'll show you guys here in a second as we need a swat here, Earl. Good. Please. Oh my gosh. I thought I was about to pick the ball right there. Next drive, I'll make sure I show you guys how I'm actually backing off my cornerbacks, because I bet you a lot of people are wondering that too. Especially with the takeoff meta that we're entering, I think it's a very important thing for you guys also to know. Right there, Drew Aller with extender. Oh my gosh, make a play. Oh my gosh, Aller. Ah, he's just so good. He's just so good, man. I think that's only gold extender too. That's not even platinum, and you guys can see just the type of plays that he is still making for me. Gonna go ahead and just hand this one off to Saquon. Let Saquon finish this drive out. Just what a crazy play right there from Aller just to put us in the red zone though. Take our extra point. But yeah, defensively, I'm not even gonna make any overall quick adjustments. Really, what we're just going to do right here is we're just going to show you guys how to back off corners. That's all I care about. If he scores here, he scores here. It's fine. I just want to make sure that you guys know how to do that, because I think that's probably one of the most valuable things you guys could know right now. So, it is going to be quick adjusting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click triangle or Y. I'm going to click individual. I'm going to click the receiver icon and then back off my DB by flicking up on the right stick. Now, I know my camera was covering that. I just realized that. So I'll make sure I show it to you guys next play. Actually, let me just go ahead and take a timeout. I'm going to quickly move my camera for you guys too. Just up a little like that. It's going to be in an awkward position just for one play. Do apologize. But so as you guys can see, we're going to click triangle, individual, click a receiver, and then you're going to flick up on the right analog stick. So I click neighbors right there. I click square, by the way. And you guys can see my DB did that little jump step back. As you guys can see, actually kind of worked out perfectly for the play he ran. You can see takeoff isn't getting past me. Let me go ahead and just fix my camera right here for you guys too. But it's such a valuable tip that I feel like if you guys don't know, that's actually probably gonna save you multiple touchdowns every single game. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and just focus more on the adjustments. And again, you guys can see like just a lot of like standard cover 3 shells, just a lot of very standard, straightforward cover 3 shells. Not honestly really doing a ton outside of that. He just hasn't beat it, right? Like he just has not beat it in any way, shape, or form. Again, standard cover 3 shell. Ooh, let me make sure. I remember actually to always back off my corners. Oh my gosh. Come on, Earl. Get there, Earl. Get there, Earl. Look at, Earl is actually making some crazy plays for me right now. The only thing that I will say is, like, I do think a taller player obviously picks it there, but at least he's getting into the position I need him to. So I don't think I have too much room to complain. Just something to be mindful of. Right here, nothing really open. He just keeps trying. As I'm hyping up Earl, man, he just gets right. That's the second one that takeoff has just kind of gone crazy. And I don't even think that's necessarily takeoff. You guys can see he has 2 completions now, and they're both just not even wide open streaks. I think that's where the height does play in a factor. I do think that, Earl will be on my team for a while, but I think there is going to come a point where it's just going to become a better, taller platinum ball hawk. So maybe he'll move to like slot cornerback or something at that point. Because I do think I do think at safety that you just run the risk of him getting, for lack of better words, honestly, just dunked on. That Saquon was actually going to be gone right there. Going to go ahead and try to make this last drive right here. So we're actually going to run the ball, chew clock on this first down. Just don't want to give him an opportunity to get the ball back here at the end of this half. Right here. Oh, I thought Saquon was again just gone right there. Go ahead, call a corner strike. He really hasn't changed much defensively. He keeps getting these like little network issues here. I don't know if he's about to disconnect here at any point. This is going to be the last game no matter what, too, boys, for any of you guys that are still watching at this point. He isn't okay. So for the first time, he finally didn't back off his coverage. I guess I don't know. I really would love an inside the mind of what this guy's thinking of right now, because I can't tell you why he was backing off his coverage. Okay, now he's not. Gonna tell you. He actually sent nobody right there. Alright, boys. Oh, he sent... Okay, never mind. Oh, we're gonna launch this. We're gonna launch this, boys. Look at Al. Look at Aller, man. Good catch, too, Calvin. Good catch, Calvin, right there. But yeah, again, like kind of like what I was talking about, the last guy that we just played too. I'll never understand why people just send to, you know, actually 2 games in a row we've had somebody that really just doesn't send pressure in any way. I mean, I think most of us can agree that if you have all day in the pocket, it's going to be pretty easy to play offense. That's one of the reasons why, you know, whenever I talk about like new best defense, anything like that, you always want to make sure you have some form of blitz threat, because if you do not have some form of blitz threat, people are just going to dissect your defense. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to say. But people really just are going to dissect your defense. That's just what it comes down to. You know, I think that you look at, like, a great example, right, would be Brady, right? You look at the teams that Brady struggled against, had a great 4-man pass rush, were able to get home, was able to make him feel unsettled in the pocket. When you look at, you know, the NFL, if you're not able to get pressure, you are probably going to consistently struggle on defense. I really do think like the biggest advantage a team can have is just a dominant front four. I'm trying to think, who's like the best? You guys want to know a crazy one? I honestly think the best front four. Okay, I shouldn't say best, but I think one of the best front fours currently in the league is actually the New York Giants, because I don't have anything else on their team. But man, their front four, I think, is just insane. Between Sexy Dex, I think he's an insane interior. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. I swear to God, they have like another defensive tackle. I don't know who it is. Why am I blanking on him? I could have sworn that they had one more defensive tackle, but it's just kind of like blanking on me. I really do just think their front seven is just so crazy. Back of the end zone right there. Good catch by Kittle. Able to, again, make that last drive. Go up 28-14 now going into half. Can't really ask for anything more on defense right there. I'm trying to think, who's like another? You know who could be crazy? You know, I'm a big draft guy, right? We are playing college. I love the draft. Draft's one of my favorite times of years. If the Browns take Abdul Carter at number 2, that just, I wouldn't necessarily say front four, but their 2 edge rushers, insanity. Probably one of the best edge rushers of the 2020s. Yeah, that's so crazy to say. One of the best edge rushers of the 2020s is Myles Garrett. That's like an insane statement. I mean, we really are closer to 2020 being over than it starting, which is, I feel old when I say something like that. But Myles Garrett and Abdul Carter, I think that would make for just an insane duo. I've been seeing like a lot of Abdul Carter actually being considered at number 1 overall too. I think that could be a pretty crazy pairing. You know, not New England. Sorry. Actually, what am I saying? Hold on, time out. All right, I need to recollect my thoughts, boys. I just came out on the wrong defense there too. I was gonna say, why does this defense look so weird? And kind of realized that we're not running that defense right now. I guess one of the things that I will say, because you guys are probably going to ask, you know, why am I running a certain defense in each video? I'm at the point of the year, boys, it's just vibes. You know, if I want to run this defense one day, I'll run this defense. If I want to run the other defense, I'll run the other defense, right? I really just want to have fun on this game at this point. That's kind of one of the reasons why I decided to find this new blitz. I was really just bored, honestly. You know, I just had been running mint for so long. And, you know, I don't have, like, an issue running the same blitz over and over and over again. But just to the point, right? Like, I do want to keep the game fresh for me. And then also fresh for your guys' viewing, too. Again, defense just cover 3 right here. There's not really much else to say. Go ahead, let him hike the ball. Oh, pick it. Oh, look at Buddha, man. Fine. I mean, that's actually a really fortunate pick right there. Look at Buddha, man. Cut inside. Oh, my. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We finally get our stop. Can I challenge that? I mean, I don't know what there would even be to Yeah. Oh my God. I just got popped, boys. That was... You're not going to see that one every single day, boys. That's what I will say. Opponent's also now experiencing network issues, too. I feel like that's probably the second or third time I've seen that happen to me. It's kind of an insane one. Go ahead, switch shake. We'll go ahead and just pick him off again. How about that? 2 plays, 2 picks for us. We'll just go ahead and pick him off myself. Jalen Ramsey in the slot. And that, boys, is how this video is going to end. Kind of a crazy ending, honestly. I do appreciate you guys all for watching a ton. If you guys like these Inside the Minds, make sure to hit the thumbs up. With that being said, though, I will see you guys all next time.